Hello, Facebook Live. Hello, Facebook Live. It's day 5 of the 30-day life challenge. And today I want to talk to you about what it means to lead a meaningful life. And that is something that I see so often in the world we live in society, in people I might talk to. That people have the experience of their life being meaningless. They're looking for meaning in their lives. They're looking for meaning in the world. They are looking for meaning everywhere, and they seem not to be able to find it. And what I've learned is that the main problem with that is that we humans are actually meaning-making machines. We are really good at giving meaning to things. But the problem is that if we are taught to utilize that skill in the wrong way, like most of us are, the meaning we give to things is that they don't have meaning. This is also a way of giving meaning to things. When we say this doesn't have meaning, it's also a way. And when we do that with everything, well, then it's no surprise that we struggle with finding meaning in our lives, because if we can't give meaning to the things in our lives, then how should we experience meaning in our lives, And this is especially in the small things, because a lot of people think that something big needs to happen, or they need to do something big for the meaning to enter in their lives. But the truth is that if you are not able to give meaning to the small things in your life, then you won't be able to give meaning to the big things in your life, because it's just how it works. If you are always trained to judge the things that you should care about as not meaningful, well then, how should the big things have more meaning? It's an automatism. It becomes a habit. And this really is in everything. Like, when we give meaning to something, when we say this has meaning, this matters, we allow ourselves to care. And this is where I see a lot of people just being so hurt and wounded, that they're so scared of caring, that they'd rather not care and just give things the meaning that they have no meaning, because they're scared of getting hurt. They're scared of caring and having their hearts broken. And so when we're scared of caring and we close our hearts, and then we don't give things the meaning that they could have for us, that's when we experience this meaningless life. But when we begin to see the meaning in things, and that doesn't have to be always something big. It can be something small, as the meaning of beauty that the tree now in fall has right outside your window as it's changing its leaves and its color. The meaning of a beautiful sunny day. Like, you can give meaning to everything. That's where the magic lies. And if we can do that, if we can find the meaning in the little things in our lives, the meaning of your husband bringing you a cup of coffee in the morning, the meaning of a smile of a person on the street. If you learn to find the meaning in the small things, you will notice that your life will feel much more meaningful altogether. And you'll start to notice that in general, also the big things will increase a lot in their meaning, and will finally get the meaning and importance that you desire them to have in your life. For example, and this is a story that I haven't told yet, but when I was a kid, my grandpa told me a story about a tree that his grandpa planted when he was a child. And so he watched that tree grow from a tiny little tree into a giant tree. And by the time that he had children, it was big enough for him to build a tree house into it for his children to play in. And then also his grandchildren played in that tree, like me and my brother and my cousins. We played in that tree too. And then after I've already grown up, there came the moment where that tree got really sick. And it was so sick that it couldn't be saved anymore. And it had to be put down, because it was right beside a barn. And there was the threat that if it would fall by itself, that it would destroy the barn. So they had to take down the tree. And I remember how sad my grandpa was about that tree being brought down, because that tree had such important meaning. It was a tree that had essential meaning in the story of his family, a tree that he watched grow up, like grow into that giant tree, that a tree that he saw all his life every day, and that just became so important, that held so much joy and so much meaning in so many ways. And so he was really sad when that tree had to go, because that tree held so much meaning for him. And that's what I say when I say, let's give things meaning. It doesn't need to be big. It can be small, but do we allow ourselves to care? Do we allow ourselves to give things meaning? Right now, there's a butterfly passing by. And as I see that butterfly, I remember it can be as small as that. Do you allow yourself to care enough to give a butterfly passing by the meaning of beauty? The meaning of freedom and lightness it could have? A sign of the universe. Do you allow yourself that? Do we allow ourselves to care enough? Because the thing is, when we allow ourselves to give things meaning, we allow ourselves to care. And when we allow ourselves to care, that was the butterfly again. When we allow ourselves to care, we open our hearts. And when we open our hearts, we can experience the magic. We can experience the beauty of life. We can let it in. And that's when everything becomes very magical and very incredible and very beautiful. Because honestly, when I was a child, I loved the idea of magic. But not because of the magic itself, not because of doing incredible things. Well, that was interesting too, but that was not the main reason I loved magic. The main reason I loved magic, butterfly keeps on coming back. But that is meaning. The main reason I was obsessed with magic and I loved magic when I was a child, the idea of magic, was that in magic everything has meaning. In magic everything has a meaning. There is no spell, there is no word, there's no ingredient that doesn't have meaning in magic, you know? When you look at the world through the eyes of someone who sees magic, every tree is a wisdom keeper or a guardian. Every animal is a messenger. There's magic in everything. There's meaning in everything. So can we allow ourselves to bring the magic back by looking through the eyes of a child? Everything. And once we start doing that, especially in the little things in our daily lives, that's when we start bringing the meaning back. And then we'll be able to do it with the big things. And your life will change so much. And you will notice that there's meaning in everything you do, and everything you are, and everything you experience, and everything you're surrounded by, and everyone you're surrounded by. Because you allow yourself to experience meaning. Because there is meaning in everything. Butterfly again. He likes our conversation, it would seem. There is meaning in everything. We just have to allow ourselves to care enough to see it and feel it. Well, that's already all I had to say today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did so, please let me know in the comments below or leave me a thumbs up. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, or who you would think would profit from this, please always feel free to share. And I can't wait to see you tomorrow again for day 6 of the 30-day life challenge. Take care.